Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear grade 12 students in Qatar Technical School, hello and welcome to a new English lesson. Our lesson for today is from Unit 3, Events, and this is the second part of Lesson 1, Conditions. So please go to your course books, page 21, and let's get started. Our learning objectives for today. Number 1, to complete the given sentences through listening to the audio. Number 2, to use conditional sentences type 1 and type 2 correctly in meaningful sentences. Dear students, let's now revise what we studied in the previous lesson with the following game. As you can see, what we have to do here is to match the 5 pictures with the suitable titles or names. Let's begin. The first word is parachute. Of course, you can pause the video before you play the game. Then you can come back and check your answers. Attitude control engine, jettison engine, launch abort system, and crew capsule. Now you can check your answers. Parachute is matched with this one. Attitude control engine is matched with this one. Jettison engine is matched with this one. Launch abort system, we match it with this one. And the crew capsule is matched with this one. Let's now submit answers and check. Well done. Dear students, let's begin now with our first objective in this lesson, which is listening. So please go to your course books, page 21, and look at exercise 6. In this exercise, we will listen to a scientist who speaks about the invention of the launch abort system. So we have to listen to 2 slides. The first one, the slide to the left, it talks about what we already have now, the year 2010. And the second slide to the right talks about what we don't have yet, 2020. After we listen carefully, you have to complete the spaces given down. So get ready.
Unit 3, Recording 8.
As the challenge disaster showed. So now...
Unit 3, Recording 8.
As the challenge disaster showed. So now I'd like to tell you about our dream for the future of space travel. A future that will make safety a reality for our astronauts. I'm talking about an ejection system for astronauts. If you look at the first slide, this describes the reality we have today. We have ejection seats today, but only for aircraft. If an aircraft fails in some way, the pilot will activate the ejection system, and if the pilot activates the ejection system, the system will immediately eject the ejection seat with the pilot from the plane. So let's turn to the second slide, which describes our dream for the future. We don't have ejection capsules yet for spacecraft, but one day, soon, with the LAS system, our new invention, we will. Let me describe what would happen if we had an LAS system in our spacecraft today. If a spacecraft failed in some way, the computer would activate the LAS system. And if the computer activated the LAS system, The system would eject the capsule with the crew from the spacecraft.
Dear students, it's time now to check your answers. In number 1, she says, and if the pilot activates the ejection system, the system will eject the seat. Number 2 says, and if the computer activated the LAS system, the system would eject the capsule with the crew. Well done. Dear students, let's begin now by talking about conditional sentences type 1. This type is used for possible situations. Now, to form a sentence in conditional type 1, we need two clauses. The first one, which includes the word if, is called the if clause, and it should include the word if plus subject plus present simple. Then on the other side, we need the main clause, which include subject plus will plus infinitive. Example, if he studies harder, he will succeed. Another example, Ali will succeed if he studies harder. On the other side, we have conditional sentences type 2. This kind of conditional sentences is used for imagined or impossible situations. And we form it in the same way, but in the if clause we need a past simple form of the verb, and in the main clause we need the word would instead of will, like in the examples. Example number 1, if he studied harder, he would succeed. Or Ali would succeed if he studied harder. We also use conditional sentences type 2 to give advice. So we use the following expression, if I were you, in the if clause. And we write the main clause by using would plus infinitive. Example, if I were you, I would drive carefully. Dear students, to apply the rule that we have just learned, I want you to open your course books, page 21, and do exercise 7. In this exercise, you have to use conditional sentences type 2. So, before we start now, you can pause the video, do the exercise, then come back and check your answers. Thank you so much. Now let's check the answers. The first one, had, which is the past form of have. The second one is ejected, the past form of eject. The third one, would open, because it comes in the main clause. Number 3, opened, the past form of the verb open. And on the other side, the main clause, we have would float. Number 4, we have the word worked, which is the past form of the verb work. And the last one, in the main clause, we have would land. Dear students, on the same page, page 21 in your course book, you can do exercise 8 and then check your answers. It is about conditional type 2 also, so you can pause the video before you check your answers. Well done. Dear students, now let's summarize our lesson for today. We learned conditional sentences types 1 and 2. Type 1 is made of two clauses, The first clause is called the if clause, which includes if plus subject plus present simple, while the main clause includes subject plus will plus infinitive. In type 2, we need also two clauses. The if clause includes if plus subject plus past simple form of the verb, and the main clause includes subject plus would plus infinitive. Dear students, I hope that you enjoyed the lesson. Please log on to your Microsoft Teams account and try to do the quiz. And remember that you have 24 hours to submit your answers. That's all for today. Goodbye.